Hello YouTube viewers and Corolla fanatics. Just want to share with you the latest install I'm doing on my 2014 Toyota Corolla. But for today we're going to do the install of a Weapon R drag-in air intake that I got. And I've watched some videos on YouTube reviewing, stating that this particular air intake, the Weapon R drag-in air intake, does have a noticeable improvement in acceleration and also helps improve the fuel efficiency of the car. So I suggest that you do your research for your particular car and see what's best as a type of air intake for it. Let's move ahead with the opening of the box. So the package did come with this instruction sheet, and let's just go through now the contents of those bags that I opened up. So the first one that I opened, that contained the Weapon R air filter, and the second bag that I opened up, that one that contained the coupler, the 1 by 2.75 inch coupler, the 1 by 2.5 to 3 inch coupler, the intake system bracket there, and the 4 3-inch clamps. There was also this, I'm not quite sure where it's going to go, but we'll find out soon enough. And they did also provide this cleaner for the air filter. And the third bag I opened up contained the Weapon R intake pipe, and it's in chrome, and as I mentioned before, the grey tubing. There was also this pamphlet, just I guess all the other products that they have, a keychain there and a sticker. And so I guess let's go into the install. Allow me to do an overview of this installation. What we'll first be doing is removing the battery. It doesn't really state that here in the instruction sheet, but it is recommended to reset the computer and avoid any engine check light or errors. And this installation will be removing this air intake assembly, and we can also remove this plastic cover here to gain access to the air intake pipe. And just to point out as well, we'll be removing the mass airflow sensor here and switching it over to the new air intake. And after removing that, the air box, or the top part of the air box, there's actually 3 mounting bolts here, number 10 or 10mm socket that we need to use. So with the 3 mounting bolts removed, there's still this bracket here for the harness, this large harness that runs at the back. The bracket itself is bolted to the box, but there is a clip behind here that you could lift, and that will release the bracket from this, as you can see there, and you'll be able to take out the box, or the bottom part of it. And to install the 2.75 inch coupler onto the throttle body and secure it with the OEM clamp. So that's this this coupling here, and this is the side that the end that goes to the throttle body that I've installed. So with the rest of it, I've actually just loosely attached the clamps. We do need to secure it using the bracket that was supplied, and the grommet. So that's going to be onto the car side here. I've actually bent the bracket here, and like I said, you have to move the whole assembly around so that it's in the ideal orientation, so that it's not rubbing against any part of the car. And so with the bracket supplied, I've bent it at that point. So I'm not sure it's going to be helpful to any of you guys, but those who have the 2014 Toyota Corolla, it's the 3 holes. And there's this long bit here, and I've bent it right about over here. And I've put the rubber grommet, it's on the, let me just bring it closer. So I've bent the bracket, and I've put it on there and connected it to the rubber grommet that's on the car side. It's mounted on this one here, this bracket here, that where the airbox, the OEM airbox used to be installed. And I did use a larger nut as a spacer because there was just way too much of the screw there. I'm going to go and get a different set of clamps now, the one that's the proper ones that will fit around these more securely, because these are really loose. my hardware store, I went and got these clamps. They should have been included in the kit because these OEM ones aren't going to work. So let's just switch these over. Take these ones out. Put these ones on. So we're going to do a double check again to make sure everything's secure. So we've got the breather tube here that was secured with the 2 clamps that I bought. Again, those should have been provided. We've got the mass airflow sensor there. Plug is secured. I did tie that, plastic tie, the harness to a bigger harness there, but it was getting too close to the filter itself. These clamps have been secured. Tightened these ones already. And as before, I did use a bracket there, and I used a larger nut as a spacer because there was just way too much thread available. And so the bracket's secured there to the inside of this clamp here, and that kind of keeps everything steady. There's going to be vibrations, of course, and of course here the other end, that's on the engine side where the throttle is. I'm going to next install the battery back again, and then we'll take it for a test run. Alright, so let's take a look and see if it starts. Well, it does start. Hasn't exploded yet or anything. I want to look actually at the engine. That seems to be running okay. It does make it sound a little bit louder. So I'm still trying to see in terms of what performance is when you're accelerating. Yeah, it does actually have a lot more pickup, especially up the hill as well too. That's one thing I've noticed. Probably need to get used to that sound though. I was so used to it being a little bit more quiet than that, but it does actually have a cool sound to it. There you have the newly installed Dragon Weapon R air intake in the 2014 Toyota Corolla. This video is actually a retake of a previous one I made. I've shortened the video and came up with the main points of the installation. I also want to give some feedback after having installed it. It does have good acceleration. I'm not sure about the fuel efficiency because I'd have to admit I've been pressing the accelerator a lot more often than I should. You can tell, like, I guess with the acceleration, if you don't press it that much, it doesn't make that much noise. If you're more aggressive with it, that's when you hear the actual sound come through. So all in all, I'm really happy with this one. I hope you enjoyed it.